Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Lord Krishna, the teacher of the universe, who gave this wonderful life uplifting message of Bhagavad Gita. The son of Vasudeva Devaki, who killed Kamsa Chanura, who were tormenting the people. And Krishna, the supreme bliss of Devaki. We shall offer our salutations to Lord Krishna. We shall pray to him to lead us from unreal to real, to lead us from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. In the last class we have talked about the background of Bhagavad Gita, a brief introduction. Today I will be taking the meditative verses. Here Bhagavad Gita is personified as the mother, divine mother, who is giving us the nectar, drinking which we become blissful and happy. Practice the life as instructed by Krishna. We realize our immortal nature and we feel we are part and parcel of the Divine Lord. So we are offering salutations, we are meditating as it were on the Bhagavad Gita. Parthaya Padibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gatitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Amritavashrinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manasundadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravinda Yatapatra Netra Yenatvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipa Prapanna Parijataya Totrivetri Kapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Amritude Namaha. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amritam Madhu. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Bhishmadronatata Jayadrita Jala Gandhara Nilopala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahini Karnena Velakula Ashvattami Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sottirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha. Parashari Vajasrojamamalam Gita Artha Gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatparira Pebiyamanam Muda Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsi Nashrese Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varnendra Rudra Martastunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedais Sangapadakramah Upanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanamastita Tatkatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantan Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. These are the 9 verses which deals with the Bhagavad Gita, paying our great homage and most respectful offering of salutations to Bhagavad Gita. Gita is personified as a mother because she is giving us spiritual food, which is very important for spiritual nourishment of our body. The gross body gets nourishment by external food. Inside the gross body there is subtle body, the spiritual body, which should be nourished properly by spiritual ideas. So, Gita takes this responsibility of giving food to us to nourish our spiritual body. So, we are humbly paying our respects to Gita. Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha Arjun was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita and consisting of 18 chapters. O Mother, loving Mother, I meditate upon you. Salutation to you, O Vyasa, of mighty intellect, and with eyes large like the petals of a full-blown lotus, by whom was lighted the lamp of wisdom full of the Mahabharata oil. Salutation to Lord Krishna, the holder of the Jnana Mudra, granter of desires of those who take refuge in him, the milker of the Gita nectar, in whose hand is a cane for driving cows. All the Upanishads are the cows. The son of the cowherd, Krishna, is the milker. Partha is the calf. Men of purified intellect are the drinkers, and the supreme nectar, Gita, is the milk. I salute Krishna, the Guru of the universe, God, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura, the supreme bliss of Devaki. The battle river with Bhishma and Drona as its banks, and Jayadratha as the water, with the king of Gandhara as the blue water lily, and Shalya as a shark, with Kripa as the current and Karna as the breakers, with Ashwatthama and Vikarna as terrible Makaras, and Duryodhana as the whirlpool in it, was indeed crossed over by the Pandavas with Keshava as the ferryman. May the taintless lotus of the Mahabharata, growing on the waters of the words of Parashara's son, having the Gita as its strong sweet fragrance, with many a narrative as its stamens, fully opened by the discourses on Hari, and drunk joyously day after day by the Brahmara of the good and the pure in the world, be productive of the supreme good to him who is eager to destroy the taint of Kali. I salute that all-bliss Madhava, whose compassion makes the mute eloquent and the cripple cross mountains. Salutation to that God whom the Creator Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra and the Maruts praise with divine hymns, whom the singers of Sama chant by the Vedas with their full complement of parts, consecutive sections and Upanishads, whom the yogis see with their minds absorbed in him through perfection in meditation, and whose limit the hosts of Devas and Asuras know not. So we offer our salutations to Gita, the uplifting spiritual nourisher, mother of every one of us. First of all, we should know what is life. We are all here in this earth to march on in our life. And Lord Krishna gives the message in the form of Gita to know the technique of living the life in a proper way. So, it is very important for us to study Gita in depth. Only by knowing the technique of living, one can be free from miseries and sufferings, and one can really realize the Divine Supreme residing in our heart. Bhartrhari, the great poet, very great poet, he has composed many hymns. A great king he was. The famous book Vairagya Shatakam, 100 verses, they are supreme. There he says, Ayurvarsha satam nranam parimitam ratrau tadardham gatam tasyardhasya parasya chardham aparam balatva vruddhatvayoho shesham vyadi viyoga dukkha sahitam sevadapi niyate jive vari taranga budbhata same saukhyam kutah praninam. Very nicely he has given the definition here. He is reflecting on the life. A man's span of life theoretically is 100 years. In these 100 years, almost 50 years are spent uselessly, without use to himself or to the society, in sleep. So only 50 years are left to him to make something of his life, to be of some good to the world. But again, of these 50 years, almost half is spent in old age and childhood, in both of which states he is dependent on others, even for the ordinary necessities of life. So, what is left now is only 25 years. This too is ridden with disease, sorrow of separation, other anxieties and miseries. Also, a major part of this time is spent in working for one's livelihood. People work because they have to and not because they like to. They serve others expecting that they will be served in return. So the time to do something fruitful, something tangible in this life is almost nil for those who are stuck up in such life. Life is transient like lightning or the bubbles in the ocean. No one can say when a bubble will burst. Even so, no one can say when this body will perish. There is no fixity in life. As life itself is transient, man will always fear death. With all these fears, sorrows, anxieties and afflictions, is there any time left in a man's life when he can be said to be really happy? Is it possible for him to be happy? Think. It is anybody's experience. We have then to firstly evaluate our life. Vedanta says at this point, everything in this world is transient, ephemeral, fleeting. Nothing in this worldly life is permanent. And everyone, nay, every living organism in this world is only after unalloyed, unpolluted, permanent joy. People marry, people study, people get jobs, all for what? Because they think that by so doing they will be happy. So happiness is the motivation. All actions by everyone in this world are just to get more joy. But all these joys depend on external things for their fulfillment, and all these external objects and things being themselves transient and ephemeral, can the joys they give ever be permanent? The joy that is had from transient, ephemeral things must necessarily be transient, ephemeral. So, don't let your mind be extrovert. If you are looking for permanent joy from the outside world, you are in for disappointment. For you can never order your surroundings to your liking. Instead, realize that the fountainhead of joy is within you. There is an unexplored treasure of pure joy within everyone. Everyone has it. You can realize it here and now. It is for anyone and everyone. Seek it, aspire for it, realize it. You are not to go seeking it to distant places, nor have you to wait for it. Seek it here and now, and you shall find it. Iha cheda vedidata satyamasti, nachedi havedin mahati vinashtihi. If you realize it here and now, yours is the infinite gain, for you are one with truth, and if you do not strive after it, equally great is your loss. Use your paurush, that is willpower. The Gita gives practical suggestions to improve your inner life and bring it to the highest fulfillment. Do not depend upon others. They invariably, you are caught in the web of subject, object and their relation. Subject, object and their relation. You are caught in the web. Subject-object relation, it's called Triputi. Do not look outside, but look within. For there is a fountainhead of all joy. Some might wonder, is this possible amidst worldly surroundings? Yes, it is possible. We have to keep on working physically in this world. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 5, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit karyate yavashak karma sarvaha prakritijair gunaihi. We can't remain without action even for a second. Action doesn't mean only our external activities, eating, breathing, and even thinking or activities. We can't live even for a short time without some of these activities. Complete inactivity is impossible. It is only how we act, and that matters, and not what we do. Only our attitude to action, the feeling or idea that we can acquire joy from the fruits of our actions must change. Jivan Mukti, liberating in this life, is not incompatible with worldly life. Vedanta can be practiced in the work-a-day world, in our hand-to-mouth existence. We can't do without it. Saturate your actions with and soak them in Vedanta. Hear these lofty Vedantic ideas, ponder over them, assimilate them, live with them, and before long you will become one with the infinite. No doubt about it. It is necessary to know how to put Vedanta into practice. It is an education. You have to learn it. If you don't learn, you are the loser. You are only to be blamed for neglecting your life. You alone are responsible for anything that happens to your life. None else. So it is very necessary to know how to put Vedanta into practice. Bhagavad Gita is not just a theory. We shall dive deep into it and the right path will open up before us. These truths were brought by Sri Krishna from the forest universities of the ancient rishis into the everyday life of the worldly man. When the truths were misunderstood and misinterpreted by Pandits, it was again brought back to its pristine glory by the great Shankaracharya. Sri Shankara proclaimed that the Gita and the Upanishads are not just of speculative scriptural value alone, just to be read, but their teachings have also got to be lived. The Gita gives a psychological process for ridding ourselves of the dirt that has accumulated in our hearts. It says again and again, turn within and seek the source of joy. The more and more you do this, the happier and happier will you be. The process is not at all difficult, and it becomes easier as you proceed on the path. Success will surely be yours. Anybody can attain Jivan Mukti. Whichever walk of life you are in, an office employee, a businessman or a menial worker, whether young or old, whether sick or healthy, Jivan Mukti is within the reach of you all. The body may be old or sick, but the mind is always young and healthy. The mind may be weary, but the inner perceiver is never tired or weary. It is ever the same infinite pure consciousness. Seeking the Supreme is subtle inward process. A simile is given. There is a large piece of stone and a small needle lying on the ground, and you are asked to find and lift them up. How do you do? Finding out the large piece of stone is very easy. But to lift it, you require to do a lot of exertion. Whereas, finding the needle requires a torch and a lot of application. But once found, it is very easy to lift it. Similarly, the Vedanta process of sublimating ourselves requires more of application than of exertion. The difficulty is people not prepared to apply themselves to this search. Once you start in right earnest and with determination, the path becomes easier and easier. It is just a matter of giving a complete turn to the direction of the mind. If you can think you are a man, it is equally easy for you to think that you are the eternal immortal soul. If you can think you are an ignorant fool, it is equally easy for you to think that you are verily the knowledge absolute. Do not condemn yourself as sinners. You must recognize and realize that you are all sinless and taintless, the ever pure, eternal, immortal soul, the Satchidananda, nothing else. May we all realize it by the grace of God. The life of Vedanta is a life of constant control over our senses, mind and intellect. It's a process of continuously improving oneself. You might think, what's the use of improving myself? The world will still be the same as now, full of misery, selfishness and the other evils of society. That attitude and argument are wrong. Try it out for yourself and you will see. Improve yourself first. Then the others immediately around you will also slowly improve. The greater your inner purity, the wider will this circle of your good influence grow. Be absolutely certain about it. A man of purity radiates a glow around him, and those coming under the sphere of this glow are sure to improve. In a family, if the father improves, gradually the mother and the children improve. If the son improves, it will have the same influence on his parents. This is the eternal law of nature. Now, Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Upanishads. We call it as quintessence of the Upanishads. Quintessence. If you study Gita properly, with full concentration, sincerity and discipline, you don't have to read underneath Upanishads at all. All the teachings of the Upanishads are embedded in this Bhagavad Gita. This one scripture is enough to grant you freedom from bondage. What Gita wants to impress upon you is to live the life according to her instructions. So, the Upanishads were taught by the ancient rishis to their close disciples. The rishis did tapas in the forests and attained Brahmagyan. They seldom came down to the ordinary people and gave out these truths. Nor did the people of the world care to go and learn at the feet of the rishis. It is not easy to give up everything and go to forest. So the common people, not knowing Vedanta and the ideal kind of life they must lead, were full of ignorance and attachments. They could not conceive that they can go beyond the ordinary sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain, raga, dvesha, attraction and repulsion, and reach a state of bliss. It was left to Sri Krishna to go to the forest and learn the Brahma Vidya, the technique of self-realization, at the feet of sage Angirasa, and then come back to the society to propagate this eternal truth. Lord Krishna gave it out not in a theoretical way, but in such a practical way that even the ordinary man could understand it, absorb it, assimilate it, and live it. Where he found them apt, Krishna has also quoted with slight adaptations and changes some of the Upanishadic mantras. In other verses, he has taken the substance from the Upanishads and explained them in a practical way. We should know a few things preliminary to entering into the Gita proper. The second chapter in the Gita contains more or less the whole of the Gita in a condensed form, and hence it is very important. In it are discussed what is dharma and what is adharma, what is shreyas, that which bestows lasting good, what is preyas, that which gives the good things of the world, what is karma, what is karma yoga, what is realization, what are the marks of the man of realization, and so on. We shall first take up the question of dharma. What is dharma? We are having pitiable misconceptions as to what it is. People say, this is my dharma. What is generally understood by it? Even a black marketer, when asked why he is doing so, he says, it is my dharma to protect and look after my wife and children. I am just doing it. According to him, it is his dharma. He acts according to his pet understanding. He sees nothing wrong in cheating people to support his family. A man observing religious authorities also says, this dharma has been entrusted to me by my father and grandfather. It is my dharma to do it. He is also acting according to his understanding. The general idea is, dharma is a series of do's and don'ts enumerated by our shastras and scriptures. Thou shalt do this, thou shalt not do that, and so on. But what really is dharma? Dharma is the inherent nature of a thing to express itself. For example, the dharma of a mirror is to reflect and throw back an image of the object in front of it. Can a mirror act otherwise? It is its very nature. It cannot act otherwise. So also, animals walk on four legs. It is their dharma. As for man, his dharma is to know and be true to his real, inherent self, which is infinite, eternal, immortal, all-pervading Satchidananda. This then is dharma in its purest aspect, in true aspect. This is what is known as Sanatana Dharma, the permanent eternal dharma which sustains mankind. It is not a series of do's and don'ts. It is just be yourself, be your true self. This is the dharma that sustains the whole universe. This is the dharma that can keep mankind away from all miseries and sorrows. This is the dharma knowing and realizing which man is freed from all limitations, and he realizes, I am the infinite, all-pervading, immortal, eternal, pure consciousness. This is the permanent dharma on which rests the whole universe. Know it, and there is no more sorrow, no more misery for you. Uttishtata jagrata prapyavara nibodhata. Arise awake, realize here and now. Every one of you can do it. Whoever you may be, whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Parsi, Buddhist, whatever religion one may belong to, everyone can realize it. Realize you are the eternal immortal soul. The moment you realize it, your life is fulfilled. The joy of that realization cannot at all be described. Vedanta shows you the way of attaining the permanent supreme joy here and now while you are in this very world. Mankind is only after happiness. Ask anybody Why have you married? Why have you studied so much? Why are you doing this job? The answer to all these questions is simply that man is after more and more of happiness. But any worldly sukha is necessarily accompanied by dukkha. There is no getting away from it. If you depend on anything outside you to give you joy, that joy, even if you do get it, will be impermanent. It will surely be followed by dukkha. Do not look for joy outside, look within. There is a fountainhead of eternal permanent joy within you. This joy, this ananda is yours once you realize what your true dharma, true nature is and live it. Only that supreme dharma can give you permanent happiness, permanent shanti, peace. That's why Shri Krishna says in the Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo moksheshyami mashuja. Relinquish all your worldly dharmas, ordinary dharmas. Take refuge in me, meaning that one infinite reality is seated in your very heart. That is, take refuge in your own infinite self, the all-pervading reality. Be of good cheer, for once you take refuge there, you are forever free from all misery and doubt. Realize your true self. That highest dharma is discussed in the Bhagavad. The second stanza in the Bhagavata says, Dharmaha projjita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastvamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kim va parairishvaraha sadyo hridya varudyate katibihi shushu shubhistat kshanat. Bhagavata says, O people, listen to me. I am going to state the one eternal, glorious, wonderful dharma, the dharma that never changes so long as humanity exists, the dharma that is not conditioned either by time or space, and not the dharma of do's and don'ts that the ordinary books tell us. None can do away with this great dharma if one is to get abiding ananda. I am stating this dharma for those who want mukti, who have got rid of raga and dvesh, in a certain measure at least. This dharma has to be known by them. The moment they know that, they will realize their resplendent bliss. How can you get it? You have to prepare yourself for it. And how to prepare? Remove all hypocrisy, deceit and duplicity. People say God is all in all to them, yet they ask God, oh God, give me this, give me that. Why should we send a separate application for supplying us with the objects of secular life? If you believe in that omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient God, then does he not know what we want before our thinking it and uttering anything? Does not a mother know what her child wants? We people do not know what God is. Is it not the utmost height of folly to ask God to give you this and that? Throw away that folly, that ignorance. If you believe in God, surrender completely to Him and do not ask for anything. Make your mind pure. Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam yedana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Those who are devoted to me and have taken complete refuge in me, let them not worry. I will look after their yogakshema. Getting things that we do not already have is yoga, and preserving what we already have is kshema. What Bhagavata, Ramayana, Yoga Vasishta, Gita and every good book amidst our scriptures teach is the same Vedanta. We do not know how to understand them, unravel them and go to their essence. On the other hand, we understand from these books only the mere superficial story. So, remove duplicity, take refuge in Him alone. Nowadays, we are steeped in duplicity and hypocrisy, so we are not feeling improved in our life at all. Those who are already good bhaktas can go higher up, and those who are not, can know what real bhakti is. The moment we have God, we will not want anything else. This is the only supreme dharma. On the glory of this dharma, the Bhagavata says, if you know it, you will have ananda and then no more coming back to the world. I am telling you the process. Attentive of self. The final state cannot be described. The moment you know it, it will remove the tapatraya, the three afflictions from you. Tapatraya can be roughly put as poverty, disease and death. So know and work on this eternal dharma. Sri Vedavyasa has written the Bhagavata only to expound this dharma. Once this has been understood, relinquish all lower dharmas. The police force is meant only for the thief. It restrains only those persons who disregard law and not the lawful citizens. So also, do's and don'ts are for those people who are not perfect in themselves. The moment you are determined that you should be perfect, the moment you start purifying yourself, relinquish all other dharmas. They are not for you. If you can think you are a man, you can also think God is within you. He is nearest and dearest to you. Seek Him within yourself. Approach Him directly within you. Do not wait for a few more births. If people want, they can do it. They themselves are at fault if they go on seeking God elsewhere. Neither God nor the Shastras are to be blamed. If you want to attain perfection, walk that path. Those who are intensely interested in improving themselves and attaining the Supreme, even on hearing Vedanta once, will have an understanding, a sort of revelation. They will have a new vision before them. God is not outside. He can be held tightly in our hearts. Avarudhyate. Realize that God is within you. Is there any way He can escape from you? Will there be any time of the day throughout your life when you will be out of touch with Him? Those people who want perfection and are interested in hearing these talks must try to understand them. Right after understanding, start putting into practice. It will not be long before you experience the infinite joy. Sarveshwara is within you. Is it not wrong to search for Him outside when He is inside? We call Him Sarvavyapi, omnipresent, yet we search for Him only outside, when He is as much within us as outside. When there is such a wonderful process, when we can reach God directly and right now, why go for lesser things? There is a sloka in Kaivalya Navanitam. Ekanta sannihitam idrisham atma tattvam loka vimudamatayo bada hadriyante akasha gotra mahesh jagat prakasham gukana bhaskara mudikshitam utsahante. This Atma Tattva, the science of pertaining to the self, is only one. There is only one such dharma. People are trying to get some peace of mind in this world. Are they getting it? Have they got more peace now than when they were born? If they have not, is not their life wasted? And if they are not after peace, are they not fools? They are blocking the only way to open their wisdom. Such people do not respect Vedanta. Why? Here a simile is given. Owls are considered blind during day. But that is not so. They can see during day, but they fear the glare of the sun and refuse to open their eyes, and they believe themselves to be blind. The sun which illumines the whole world, the owl does not look up and see. The owls alone are to be blamed for that. Similarly, Vedanta is available for everywhere in any book. If we want it, we can get it from many experiences we undergo in this world. But we do not want to know it. If we want, we can get it. It's easy if we have a mind. Let us not be owls. Let us keep our eyes open to all the wisdom and glory of Vedanta. Let us get into the process by which we can improve ourselves, ennoble ourselves, evolve ourselves and realize the self. It can be started right now. This is what Vedanta says. This is what anyone of realization would say. So, Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Upanishads. We shall take up chapter by chapter in the coming weeks. We shall discuss in more in detail about the teachings of Lord Krishna, how they have to be understood and how they have to be practiced. By practicing the ideas, you enjoy more and you attain peace. Thank you. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, only lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Nay, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the ties of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for Thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is Thy servant, O sweet one. In Thy mercy consider him as dust beneath Thy feet. How I long for the day when the instant's separation from Thee, O Lord, will be 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without Thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at Thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of Thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of Thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O Thou who stillest the hearts of Thy devotees, do with me what Thou wilt, for Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the free make others free. May good be at all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.